Hey everyone, welcome back to High Ground Podcast. Once again, joined by myself, Landon, and our mascot Shadow, which will be revealed after 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. Without further ado, Landon, what are we talking about?
We are going to be talking about the MCU. There's been recent updates. Feige's come out and gave some updates. There's been some other news about the future of the MCU. People speculated that it's because of Superman. I don't think so. I think this is just a Marvel thing. Let's just release some things that are happening so we can move forward, because it's kind of had a bumpy road in the last 5 years past Endgame. Before we get into our thoughts, what is your thoughts on like post like where we're at right now in like post Endgame, like that in between spot, phase 4, 5, and 6?
Yeah,
or 4 or 5, I guess.
So, me and you have talked about this a lot of times, and I've used the analogy. It's very much been quantity over quality.
Yes.
Which we'll get into that, but that is the biggest thing. I feel like ever since Endgame, it's just been kind of like, let's pump out as many projects as we can, as many movies and shows. And they had a direction, which, I give them a little bit of slack because the whole King situation isn't technically Marvel's fault with the whole Jonathan Majors drama and all that.
Yeah.
I do think it's just unfortunate timing, but I think it comes down to, it almost felt rushed at times.
Yeah.
There's some projects it's like, okay, like She-Hulk's a great example of okay, this could have been a little bit better, but is it the worst thing in the world? No, there's worse projects, but it's I think it's just a lot of finding footing after Endgame, and I feel like we're finally just now getting that point. Because I told you since Captain America: Brave New World, I feel like for whatever reason, the way I feel like this is the fresh start of here onward is, which is ironic because we have 2 more years and then it's all going to reset hypothetically anyway.
Yes, so. And we will get into that. And that's the big that's the big update that he kind of gave, and everyone's kind of freaking out about or whatever. But we're gonna get right into it. And he did confirm, he was like, it was quantity over quality for the after Endgame, and I don't think he was a big fan of it. I think it was really Disney, in my opinion. I think Disney was kind of had their foot in it. There's been rumors that he was super stretched thin. So for example, James Gunn, he's has his eye on everything, right? And that's how Feige was in the beginning with the first 3 phases. But he got super stretched thin, so it's hard to be over 10 projects at once, because that's 10 projects and so that's kind of something that's kind of been rumors happening. But let's go right into the update. So he did confirm, because it was kind of already confirmed, but we got the Feige stamp of approval that Berthol will be in Brand New Day. Are you excited to see the Punisher in Brand New Day?
Oh yeah, that's as we know, being comic fans, there are so many iconic team ups in Marvel Comics, one of them being Spider-Man and Punisher, and it's very much the exact opposite. You have Punisher as a vigilante who kills without mercy. He just, in his words, I knock them down and they stay down, they don't get back up, and then you have Spider-Man, which his whole persona is save everyone you can. So he'll never take a life unless, absolutely necessary, and even then it's he's not going to directly do it. So it's very interesting. I wonder how that's going to play out, just them being polar opposites kind of. But also, this will be the first project Punisher will be in that's not rated R or TVMA, so they're going to have to dial back on the violence with him. And I wonder how they're going to approach that, because he still needs to be Punisher, but how do you do that while still honoring his character? You know what I'm saying?
I think it's very Wolverine and R-rated movies, and Wolverine and the first X-Men movies, his R-rated movie, he was guts and all that with those knives or whatever, but and the X-Men, it was you barely saw anything with it.
It was implied, but it wasn't. It was blood everywhere, which is probably how they'll do it. It's you still gonna shoot and kill people, but
very similar.
It's gonna be oh, they're dead. It's, you get the gist basically without all the extra stuff. But
I'm excited for the Punisher special, and the Punisher series was really good. It was really good to see him back in Born Again,
Yes.
and he's a great character. I love the character. The Punisher special is currently filming right now, so that is a fun to know it's happening. It's going. They're getting into it. But let's go ahead and move on. So Jake Schreier, the director of Thunderbolts, is confirmed to be directing X-Men, the new X-Men reboot film.
Okay.
That's supposed to be coming out in who knows?
Who knows when?
28, 29.
Sometime post Secret Wars.
Maybe 30. And they did say that he did confirm that the X-Men reboot film will be a youth-oriented film similar to the comics.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's your thoughts on the new X-Men? Do you have any fan cast? Do you have any? What's your overall thoughts on that?
Yeah. So, I mean, fan casting, I'd have to do a little bit more research of because I don't know, with fan casting, a lot of times I'll just see, stuff on social media where it's like people will do art of a certain actor as said character, or they'll just have a side-by-side picture and it's like, oh, here you go, you can see the vision here. So fan casting wise, I'm sure some will come to me throughout this episode, but specifically character wise, I think I'd like to see kind of just like the comics where it's Cyclops, Jean Grey, Beast, and Angel, and maybe a couple more, but the core OGs,
Yeah.
And I also that. I don't know if this is controversial or not, but I also think they shouldn't just start with Wolverine. I think Wolverine should, and that's a whole thing, if they're going to recast him or blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
I think they will have a new Wolverine and all that.
Till you're 90.
Yeah. Unless I'm proven wrong, which I have no problem with Hugh Jackman playing Wolverine. I think he's the greatest Wolverine of all time.
Oh, yeah.
Probably will always be, and so, but I definitely think, Wolverine comes along later in terms of actual X-Men movies.
Yeah.
And I still love the character. I want him to be in it, but there's so many X-Men characters you could explore and discover and that's the whole thing. We talked about, it's a youthful, but also just starting over, because that's the whole idea is after Secret Wars, which I'm sure we'll see a lot of X-Men characters, all these different characters and stuff, which we talked about before. We'll talk about again, but everything after Secret Wars is kind of fair game, except for Spider-Man, because they have all the rights now. So, which unless that changes, hopefully, right? We'll see.
Which is interesting with Marvel. They have everything except the only two characters they have problems with is Spider-Man and the Hulk still, because he's still technically owned by. There's a whole Universal thing going on. That contract's weird.
It's very weird.
But yeah, I'm excited for X-Men. I really want, what's his name? We call him Moff Gideon.
Oh, I know. It's Gian.
Yeah, he has
Escaraldo or something.
Yeah, super weird name. Sorry for butchering your name.
Moff Gideon.
Moff Gideon. But I would really like to see him. I know he was in he was in Brave New World. But I would really like to see him as Magneto. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So many M's. Oh my god.
There's a lot of M characters.
But yeah, I think he'd be great as Magneto. But honestly, I really do want him to have another huge villain role. Yeah. Because he just has that.
He is the villain. Yeah, he just plays such a good villain, and he's a phenomenal actor. Everything I've seen him in, it's just
he always cooks.
Yeah, honestly. So I'm with you on that. I think that would be really cool.
That was funny. Yeah. He cooks. There's a cooking commercial.
I was just about to say, I was wow, that's weird timing.
Well, let's go ahead and move on from that. So he did confirm that Mephisto will be appearing more in the MCU future. What's your thoughts on that? What do you think he's going to appear in? Do you think it's going to be anything super major? Do you think he's just going to be a side character come in? What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so right now it feels more like he's just going to be a side character, in terms of he's not going to be a Thanos level threat right now. Yeah. I think in the comics he is, so there's potential there, but I do when they introduced him in Ironheart, they kept it to the roots of the whole deal with Mephisto is he makes deals with people. Mm-hmm. So ordinary Joes, but also you have Spider-Man. There's a whole one of the most bizarre comics to me was it's Spider-Man, I forgot the name of it, but basically he gets a do-over. So the way it goes is Aunt May is killed because Kingpin orders a hit on Peter Parker, but they miss. Aunt May dies, and so Spider-Man gets offered a deal by Mephisto. Basically, if he basically gives Mephisto his marriage to Mary Jane, like if he basically, like what I mean by this, him and Mary Jane are no longer married. Like, boom, like basically divorce. Then he gets Aunt May back for one day. And he made the deal. And that's like, it's the most controversial. It's such an interesting comic. It's one of the most controversial Spider-Man comics of all time. Because it's like, what? Like, it's so stupid. But that's the whole point is literally Mephisto. And then you have the stuff with like, you know, Scarlet Witch's children at some point. So there's a lot of interconnected pieces, intertwined stuff. So I think finally introducing him is a start. I think, you know, I don't know how that will look going forward, but I definitely think, you know, there's potential there with future projects and stuff. Even like I could see, and I said this on the Ironheart episode, I think I could see him like Mephisto even being in like Secret Wars and having some kind of role in that of like,
that's the big deal.
So you know. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm excited for his future. I really want him to cross paths with like obviously Strange and Scarlet Witch in the future, like the two magic characters, and you know whatever. I really liked him in Ironheart, so whatever they do with him, I'm sure will be phenomenal. Next up, he did say that they cannot use Miles Morales yet, and Sony told them to stay away. I don't understand Sony.
I hate Sony. like they make me so mad sometimes, man. It's just like I get it, but at the same time, oh my gosh, it's this conundrum, right? Yeah. Because on one side, it's like, look, if Sony didn't have Spider-Man, we might have never got the Spider-Verse or the Spider-Man game for PS4, PS5, and those are amazing, right? Mm-hmm. But on the same token, Madam Web and all these projects that are just hot garbage that didn't go anywhere, and more importantly, didn't involve Spider-Man at all. You have the rights to Spider-Man and said, we don't want to use them. It's just petty. Sony's petty me. And it's like, at some point, like, when is it going to break? When is Sony going to be like, all right, here's the rights back, whatever money deal they bargained for, right? Or like they're just going to say, all right, Marvel, you're done. You're cut off. We're doing our own thing. At some point, one of those has to happen. And it's just like this weird tug of war right now. And it's frustrating because it's like, you know, like, I'd love to see Miles Morales, especially like they set up a little bit in Homecoming and then, you know, all the other stuff. It's like, and from what we have seen in the Spider-Verse, it's like, man, I would love a live action Miles Morales. I think they could do so much good with that. Yeah. And Sony's just like that divorced parent that's like, you're not getting custody of the child this weekend, except it's been 5 years and I still have not seen my child. So literally,
it's very like you said, it's very frustrating. It's very Sony's made great stuff with the Spider-Verse films and the games and this and that. However, anything that's not Spider-Man, it's always a miss. It's always been a miss. Like, let's do all these side character movies that no one knows about, and let's just butcher them. And then now it's like, what's wrong? Like, now you got to re-release Spider-Man's again when you could have been making Spider-Man movies this whole time. And I know. That's a whole slope, and it's just like, it's kind of sucks. It's just like they're finally doing the Young Avengers and all that, and they're finally doing the, you know, Peter's becoming older, you know, so now's a good time to have that Miles Morales kind of just show up and all that, but it is what it is, and maybe one day Sony, or maybe one day Marvel will get the full rights to the live action Spider-Man. And if that day ever does come, I'm going to celebrate so much. Yeah. Like, that'll be the day I'm like, the world is healing. Like, genuinely, because Because, I mean, genuinely right now, like, both DC and Marvel have the rights to all their characters, except Marvel's the only thing is like Spider-Man. That's really it. But Universal's like chill with Hulk though. Yeah, they let him use it. That's okay. That's okay. That is such a great point. The difference between Universal and Sony when it comes to rights is Universal is a little picky, so it's like they can't make a Hulk film by itself, which is like,
you know what, fair and also fine, because like with Mark Ruffalo's Hulk, we haven't had a Hulk since Edward Norton, like movie wise. So it's like what they're doing now kind of works. I mean, they actually do the Savage Hulk story, like they actually make him Hulk again. But I mean, even Brand New Day Hulk's gonna show up in that. So it's like, you know, at least Universal's like, you know, you can use them. Like they're not like that like tight vice grip around the character where you can't even use them.
Yeah.
Where Sony's the exact opposite. It's like, no, like you have
can't
to
do that.
literally beg them to let them use the character, and it's so like, this just blows my mind.
It's very frustrating.
Sony's just allergic to money sometimes. I've said it once, I'll say it 1,000 times.
That's what it sounds like. I agree with that. Other news, he going back to X-Men. He did talk to Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman about returning as X-Men or as Deadpool and Wolverine. That's exciting. Till they're 90. When do you think they'll come back?
My money right now is on Secret Wars. I was thinking Doomsday, but now I don't know, because unless we get confirmed actors, like more confirmed actors before Doomsday releases, a little over a year from now, then I'll probably say Secret Wars, but if not, then Doomsday. I still hope that they show up in Doomsday and they start the whole build up from there, you know? Just like Toby and Andrew Spider-Man, like I'd love to see them, and you know, maybe Doomsday for sure, Secret Wars, like I don't know, like it's a matter of when, not if. Especially with Deadpool and Wolverine, that's a given. Especially with Gambit being in Doomsday, and that's confirmed. Yeah, which is so funny. I keep forgetting that because there's nothing talked about since the announcement, but he is in it, and it's just like I think that in itself is kind of the thumbs up of like they're going to be in it.
They're going to be back, you know,
which will be interesting.
The whole gang. I'm excited for them to come back. That was one of my favorite Marvel movies ever, Deadpool, Wolverine. I thought that was so phenomenal, so well done. Didn't mess with any timelines or anything. It was just its own thing, and I thought that was great. Then Feige did say there has been 4 versions of Blade, but now they have landed on that it's going to be a modern day adaptation. When we will get it, I don't know. What's his name? Ali.
Mahershala Ali.
Mahershala Ali got casted 6 years ago, and we still haven't got one. What's your thoughts? Do you think we're gonna get Blade this decade?
If we do, it better be good. Dang it! Because I swear, I'm like so done with the whole Blade thing. And I want to clarify that too. I love Blade. He's an awesome character. I want Blade. But only if you're going to do it right. If this is another Ironheart situation or like a She-Hulk, like, just don't do it. In my opinion, kill it. Just kill the project. Say, you know what? We'll incorporate him somehow, some other way. Like, as much as I'd like a Blade movie and them to actually do that, it just feels at this point they're just like, just slowly dragging this to the deathbed, if that makes sense. Yeah. Whereas, like, the difference with Fantastic Four, we were in kind of a similar boat because it was very slow. I mean, that was announced, 4 years ago? It's been a while.
Announced, like, right after Endgame.
Yeah,
and
so, like,
pushed back to now.
Yeah, like, we're just now getting it this week, which, like, hooray, we're excited. We're finally getting a good Fantastic Four movie. Fingers crossed. But we will. But, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's just, like... But the difference with that is like, at least there was still momentum. There was still like, they were very slow and meticulous on it. But the difference is with Blade is they're slow and meticulous, but it's not going anywhere. It's just a stagnant loop of like insanity. Yeah. And it's like, at what point are we going to say, kill the project or let's just do it? And the problem is they're probably going to say, let's just do it. And it might not be as good as we hope. Yeah. And that's my concern with it.
Yeah. I still think it's going to be good. I think the reason there has been 4 versions of Blade is because Feige's like, this sucks. Oh,
100%.
Because, I don't know. I feel like Blade's a hard character to like nail down, you know? And I thought the first 3 films weren't too bad with
Wesley Snipes.
With Wesley Snipes. I thought he did very phenomenal. He was really good at Blade. Oh my gosh. But man, I watched those movies for the first time after Deadpool and Wolverine. That dude has aura. Yeah. But yeah, I like those films. And, you know, those films are very 2000. So like doing a modern day is kind of harder to do, you know, with the audience nowadays. And it's like this or that. And speaking of, so like the next thing we were gonna go into is he said there will be more R-rated films, but it will be like made when it's appropriate and necessary. So like, for example, Blade would be, I feel like Blade would be one of those films.
It has to be,
Yeah. Speaking of R-rated films, what other R-rated films could we possibly see that's not Blade?
Probably Midnight Suns if they do, if that's a movie.
Yeah.
If it's a show, it'll be TVMA, but if it's a movie, then, so either or on that one. Obviously, if we get more Deadpool Wolverine movies.
Yeah.
If we get Blade. Thinking of like, if anything else. I mean, it kind of seemed like Punisher if they made a movie. I don't think they'll ever make a Punisher movie.
That would be so crazy.
It would be awesome, but I think they'll stick with special presentations and TV shows like Daredevil. So yeah, there's potential there. I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to think of other. I'm kind of hitting a blank on that. But is there any you think of at the moment?
I mean, yeah, I think the obvious ones being like Blade. I think Midnight Suns would be cool with being R-rated.
Ghost Rider.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's a great one. If they bring Elektra back.
Yeah, no, for real.
She survived. Prove me wrong. I would like to see an R-rated Elektra movie. That would be cool. But I don't know. Maybe she just put her back in Daredevil. I don't know. There's not much. I remember Multiverse of Madness was supposed to be rated R.
Yeah.
But they pulled a plug on it being rated R. So maybe the third Doctor Strange movie being the R-rated movie.
Yeah. I've honestly, in my opinion, I feel like Doctor Strange is the same as Venom as far as ratings go. Because like Venom was supposed to be rated R from the get-go. Sony said no.
Mm-hmm.
Venom, Let There Be Carnage was supposed to be rated R.
Yeah.
Sony said no. And then The Last Dance is like they just gave up. All right, fine, it's PG-13 or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, we're not even going to try to make it rated R because you're just going to say no. Again, Sony.
Yeah, no, like what are we doing?
Anyways, but and I feel like that's how it is with Doctor Strange as well. Because I also feel like the reason they didn't do Doctor Strange as rated R is Doctor Strange is still a character kids can get into.
Yeah.
So they're trying to make it appealing where, you know, little kids can go see it too, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And they push the boundaries, but yeah, I don't know.
They did push the boundaries.
They pushed the boundaries, all right. So I don't know. I think anything's possible. I still really want them. Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness was supposed to have Nightmare as the main villain, and I really wish he was, because that would have been so much better than what we got. But I hope that eventually that's still the plan, is to introduce Nightmare through Doctor Strange as a legit Doctor Strange villain, you know, not just a one-off, but something that can build upon, because he's such an amazing character in the comics.
Yeah. Man, Doctor Strange, man. Then the next one up is so Peter Parker will be dealing with street level crime in Brand New Day, confirming that Brand New Day will be a street level film. Are you excited for that?
Thank God. Me and Lane, like we've been on the fence discussing this for the greater half of like 3 or 4 years now, ever since No Way Home released, and it's, I don't know, it's just we've wanted a contained ground level Spider-Man,
very similar to Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, very similar to Spider-Man, which they kind of set up to do with him being on his own, living in an apartment. No one knows him. Like, they could still potentially do that to a degree, even with Hulk being in it. Punisher especially being in it is a good sign of like street level
level is gonna help with that.
Yeah, so I'm really happy that happened. I definitely think that was a lot of negotiating on Kevin Feige's part, because Sony wanted to do multiverse. Like, there was at one point a rumor where they were going to tie in all the multiverse. Like, through the multiverse, they would tie in Morbius, Venom, and all. And that would have been so bad.
Yeah, no.
So thank God Sony just agreed with Marvel. Like, you know what? We'll just axe this whole villain spinoff stuff. Thank God, because the only one I would have wanted to see is Kraven, honestly. Like, because Venom would be cool too, but I don't think Venom's gonna do nothing.
Man, that really sucked about the Kraven movie, because like the whole time I was like, dude, this is such a good villain, bro. Like,
yeah, they did such a good job. Aaron Taylor Johnson. I still think in the future, if they want to do Kraven, they just bring Aaron Taylor Johnson back. But like, they just redo it again.
Exactly.
Like, like perfect because he is such a good Craven.
He really was. Like the whole time watching that movie, I'm like, this is missing something. Oh yeah, Spider-Man. Like,
dude, can you imagine like literally any of the Spider-Man, but like especially like I was thinking like, dude, imagine Andrew Garfield Spider-Man and that Craven fighting like
that's where my mind goes with that universe is that it's Andrew's. Even though there was that graffiti of Toby's,
which was fake.
Which is it's like what the heck, but
that too. Sony's just so weird.
It's just they have no idea what they're doing with Spider-Man. Except for Spider-Verse, which is great. Even with Spider-Verse, they botched the release date of that. I mean, I don't know. We have all our opinions and all that, but yeah, excited for Brand New Day and all that. But we're gonna go on to the next thing. So. He did confirm that in Avengers Doomsday, the main focus of the film will be the Avengers, the Wakandians, Fantastic Four, Thunderbolts, and the OG X-Men all fighting Doctor Doom. So 5 big groups.
That's crazy.
Fighting Doctor Doom. What's your thoughts on that? Who do you think is gonna hop? Because we don't really know who like Sam Wilson. Is it Sam Wilson? Yeah, Sam Wilson's Avengers are. Yet we know who the Thunderbolts are. We know that they're the new Avengers, but we don't know who the Captain America's Avengers are. Who do you think are some of the other characters going to be involved in this film that we don't know about? How do you think it's going to play out? Do you think it's just going to be like a straight like everyone's trying to get Doom, but Doom's like moving? How do you think this film's going to look?
So I'm drawing a lot from which we'll talk about Fantastic Four this week after seeing it. So literally in like less than a little over 24 hours we'll know. But I think the end credits for Fantastic Four, because it was directed by the Russo brothers. That's already confirmed. Which, knowing Thunderbolts, we know that means they're setting up to Doomsday.
Yeah.
I still think it's highly plausible that the end credit is the ship landing on Earth.
Yeah.
With the Fantastic Four in it and Franklin, and the door opens, and we're all expecting to see the Thunderbolts, new Avengers, and in reality it's Sam and some of the Avengers characters and part of his team. Yeah, we kind of expect, but like officially, like boom. So I still think that's the case. And then I think I think Doom shows up in the post credits as well. Yeah, potential. I feel like they have to, but that we'll see. Very excited for that. But yeah, I think if they don't do that, then the only other chance is a post credit set up in Spider-Man Brand New Day, since that comes out before Doomsday, which I still think is the case because they moved all that, not just to more time to focus on getting it right with the story, but also to make sure Tom Holland can actually be in both. Yeah. So, worst case scenario, I think we find out who Anthony Mackie's, Sam Wilson's Avengers is in Doomsday itself. Like, it's kind of like they'll be like, oh, it was already established and here they are, or he's like going and recruiting them. So it's kind of crunch time right now. It's like, we're waiting for a fourth quarter miracle with the setup with everything. But I trust the Russo bros. I trust Marvel. Russo bros have never made a bad Marvel movie, so I'm not going to be too concerned about it. But it's a lot. There's a lot, and there's even more that we don't know about this movie that we'll know within the next year slowly. But I still hope they keep a majority of it a secret.
Yeah, very contained. What was his name? The guy who plays Nightcrawler. He like got in trouble because he was like, "Yeah, my guy fights." He's like, "Yeah, Nightcrawler fights Mr. Fantastic." I mean, we're all like,
dude,
you're new to this. Yeah, we understand.
He's one of the Fox guys.
Yeah, he's one of the Fox guys. I'm like, that's so funny. But yeah, I'm excited for it. That's something I really wanted to see, just in general. Is just like all these guys. It's very similar to Infinity War, just the different groups all trying to fight Thanos. Yeah. So I'm really excited for all the 5 groups going at Thanos.
And I feel like it's gonna be that times 10 because we've never had X-Men and Fantastic Four with Avengers. Literally. Like, this is like the next step. Yeah. So
it's so exciting.
It is. Like, we've waited how many years just for the chance to have this because of studio rights and things not working, and there's only so much we can do. Yeah. So it's like, if this is like worst case scenario, Doomsday is like right at the level of Infinity War. Best case, it's right at Endgame. exceptional case, it's better than both. You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of the ceiling. I don't think it'll be worse than Infinity War. I think it'll be right there.
Yeah.
Or better.
Yeah.
So I think the bar's already pretty high. And the fact that the little we do know, we're kind of slowly figuring out through either leaks or them talking about.
Yeah.
Shows that, like, one, we have no idea what's happening, but also, man, there's so much to look forward to.
Even with the leaks, I still have no idea what's happening.
It's out of context.
There was
out of context.
There was a picture of the Thing and
it was the Thing
and the Falcon. New Falcon, and there's another guy. In
Riot Russell's. Man, why are we blinking?
Oh my gosh, that's a
U.S. agent
John Walker.
John Walker.
But
US
like,
agent.
even just seeing that picture, you're just like,
what's happening?
I don't know what's happening.
Weirdest like.
But it's also kind of cool because it's like, oh, all three of them have a movie this year, and now they're all on the screen together. That's gonna be fun.
That is such a good point. I feel like they did that on purpose.
They probably did. I don't know. That's fun.
Like, they were gonna interact anyway, but the fact they did that specifically as their choice of showing.
Man, people can dog on like them just using blue screens and green screens all they want, but with leaks it helps. It helps contain.
No, honestly, because like if they're honestly, great point is Deadpool and Wolverine. We're seeing leaks for that. It was hard to tell what was real or not, and they confirmed they put fake leaks out there. Like, they had a fake Cyclops. They had a fake
thing. They had a fake
thing. Which worked because like they did so much real life and that, which is funny. The Deadpool and Wolverine set, like with the Void and stuff, is still there, and they're expanding it for these other movies.
Battle World.
So we're actually gonna get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't been this excited with Marvel probably since like Endgame and No Way Home. As far as just like super excited,
like keeping things together, not like because this really is the first time like they're actually containing things. You know, like I feel like they try to contain with like all these shows and movies and stuff, but it's so hard to do because you have like 30 projects in between here and now. It's like, well, how do you contain all that? So now it's like with these 3 movies, it's like, okay, now we have like a direction.
It feels very more contained and narrow.
Yeah,
that's how it should have been all along.
Because like previously it was like, okay, Loki has Kang and Ant-Man has Kang. That's all we got about Kang. There's nothing else. It's like, okay, literally. Where are we going? But yeah, Loki's coming back, so that'll be fun.
I'm so excited for that. You sent me something the other day, and it was just this clip of like Loki and Thor, and it's like the sun will shine on us.
Oh yeah, the Ragnarok.
And I was just watching it, and I was just like,
yeah, that will break me. If
they actually do it and they reunite and the sun's setting, I'll be like, oh, dude.
Yeah, let's go ahead and move on. So this is like a 2-parter. So Feige did confirm, and a lot of people hate this, but I'm low-key fine with it. Secret Wars to reset singular timelines and reboot MCU. I think it's more of a soft reboot. So the current MCU plan is 7 years long, from like now to 7 years. So he says, I think it goes to 2032. So that's like the kind of like the conclusion, but soft reboot of the MCU. So for example, Marvel will eventually recast like Captain America and Iron Man. A lot of people have different opinions on this. What are your opinions on this like big news? This is kind of the most major news of the past weekend.
It's very major news.
Yeah.
I think overall good news. Because a lot of people, I feel like, that I've talked to about it, or just knowing the internet, are going to be like, this is so dumb. Why not just completely reboot? Just completely clean slate, you know? And after watching Superman, not to compare the two, but after watching Superman, that's how you do it if you're going to reboot. Is just like literally clean slate or starting over. And to be honest, like what I want is Marvel to look more like just the Superman movie in terms of like comic book on movie.
Exactly.
Because that is the, like, I've said it before, I'll say it again. That is the best comic book movie of all time.
Yeah.
Like, hands down, it's like copy paste from the comic.
Yeah.
And it looks amazing. So I would love to see that, but Marvel. So I don't know. I have mixed feelings about it. I'm happy that we're gonna keep like Thor and like these major characters that like still work. Like even like Daredevil, like having.
I really think it's gonna be like all these characters, like these new characters.
Yeah,
they're gonna add on like the characters that are already done.
Probably
or just recast them.
I feel like that's the move.
Yeah.
Which again I'm fine with, because like You know, even like Black Panther, that's the thing we talked about, because after seeing F1, it's like, dude,
That guy,
Damson Idris would be really good. I mean, no one's ever going to replace Chadwick. He's always going to have a special place in our hearts, and
he's always going to be Black Panther.
He's always going to be Black Panther. No one's going to beat that. Yeah. But, like, man, that would be such a good idea if they did that. So, I don't know. Like I said, overall good news. And then I know a lot of people here, oh, we'll recast Iron Man and Captain America, and everyone's like...
Like, but they're like that's what people like. They're like, well, you can't do that. But it's like,
to be fair, in Marvel's defense, this is a different case because, like, okay, with Spider-Man, we've had multiple Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
Then you look at DC, we've had tons of Superman, tons of Batman, multiple Wonder Women. We haven't had more than one Captain America or Iron Man, really. I know there's the old Captain America
movie. There's like those old shows and all that.
But like we haven't, like, truly, we have not had another Iron Man or Captain America. And I'm not talking about like, I'm talking about Steve Rogers Captain. I'm not talking about like Sam Wilson stuff. That, push that to the side. That's not what I'm talking about. But yeah, we haven't had a Chris Evans a Steve Rogers or Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Part 2. Like, we've only had Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans for that.
Yeah.
Which is phenomenal and, like, honestly, amazing.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna hate until I see it, because we're like at this level with it, and like everyone's treating it like we're at this level with it.
Yeah.
So I think give it time, give it patience, and just see what happens. Because at the end of the day, it's like we're here for the ride. Like,
exactly.
It's not about the destination. The destination with Marvel, I feel like eventually is the end, where they stop making movies and they just like take a break and then restart again.
Yeah.
Like probably when we're like in our 50s, but you know,
I really do think like the reasoning for that isn't not necessarily because they're like, oh, Superman did really good. I really think it's because Feige and James Gunn are really good friends, right?
Yeah.
So I really think he's like, crap. So like, there's like, they're gonna have like this universe, and we have the B team as our Avengers, like
the B-Vengers,
the B-Vengers, whatever. But it's like, it's not like necessarily a stress factor, but it's like, okay, I want our like Avengers to have a crossover one day with the Justice League.
That too.
But right now, if you did that, I'd be like, wait, why is it Sam Wilson? Like, no offense to Sam Wilson, he's a great Captain America and everything, but I'd rather have Steve Rogers and Tony Stark.
Oh, 100%.
Meet Batman and Superman.
I want to see Tony Stark and Bruce Wayne have a conversation. Like,
exactly.
I want
to see that one day. I feel like that's kind of the major reason for the soft reboot, because like I said, I think the only I feel like the only recast is going to be the Avengers and the X-Men, and then obviously Black Panther, right? Because that's a sad thing, but it's true. And maybe, I don't think, unless Sony caves in, maybe they just give him Miles Morales and Tom Holland can be done, but until then, Tom Holland's he's going to stay Spider-Man for a while, and we'll probably see how that looks. Secret Wars is going to reveal a lot.
It will,
because even Superman's like not a complete reboot just because of Peacemaker. Peacemaker's supposed to come over, and that's like that show's going to take place in DCEU and then come over to DCU. So even that's still like there's soft reboot elements to that. So even in Marvel, like the soft reboot could be, I think it's be a great thing, especially with the multiverse, you know?
Yeah, and I think that's Kevin Feige's whole point, is everyone's been so like complaining about this whole multiverse and everything. So like the end goal was Secret Wars is finish the multiverse.
Yeah.
And this is him correcting that, so there is no more multiverse, but also just to make things linear again.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing. I think that's the biggest problem right now with Marvel, is it's not linear storytelling, it's scattertelling.
Yeah.
Which isn't a bad thing, because you have these awesome side projects like Moon Knight and this other stuff that like we wouldn't normally get.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Marvel, the MCU was once just a straight, narrow line, and you just follow in sequence, you know? Whereas now it's like...
it's everywhere.
It literally is all over the place.
Which is crazy, but, you know, like I said, I'm so excited for the future of the MCU, and, you know, like, you can say they're scared or whatever you want, but they've been holding it down. They've been holding down superhero movies since 2008.
For over a decade.
Almost
2 decades.
Even with the bumpy rides, like, we're still back. We're back having superhero films, and I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
Some other news that came out of, like, other, like, Marvel peoples now. So, like, Brand New Day starts filming August 1st. Wilson Bethel who plays Bullseye, says that Born Again Season 2 is some of his best work that he's done.
That.
Are you excited to see more Bullseye? Because I am.
The fact that he's saying that's his best work he's done when we've already had peak Bullseye.
Like, he killed
I want to
it.
know what he means by that.
Like, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Like, dude, because I'm so excited for Daredevil Season 2. Like, they did such a good job with, Born Again Season 1. And, and now the fact we have like Jessica Jones confirmed, like we're getting the Defenders back.
The Defenders are back.
I cannot wait to see that.
Hopefully, Elektra.
Hopefully, Elektra. I mean, come on, there's got to be a way. I doubt it, but I want Spider-Man to be in it. I think worst case scenario, we'll get Daredevil in the Spider-Man movie just with Punisher being in it. I think it's inevitable, but I would love to see him in the show. It'd be cool. We'll see. I also want Moon Knight. I want the literal comic storyline.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's going to be amazing because there is no such thing as a bad Daredevil show.
Yeah.
Because there's only one and it's the best. So
exactly.
But yeah, I want to see more Bullseye because, dude, he was a menace.
Dude, like even in like season 3, I was like, bro.
Dude, that's what's crazy. Season 3, he's already up here.
Yeah.
And then season 4. Boom, major jump.
And
like
the fact he said
sliming people.
Like, this is his best work? You killed it in the past, your past 2 seasons.
Like, bro, anytime he's on screen, it's like chills, dude. It's like, oh my God, he's a menace.
He only had like 3 episodes. But, yeah, excited for Born Again. They did say the Loki creator is helping write the Doomsday script, which is exciting.
That's a good thing.
Loki was peak. I think, in my opinion, the best show that they've done.
Yeah. I think if Daredevil Born Again didn't exist, then I would say Loki is the best. But because Daredevil, I'm always going to put that first. But agreed. Loki was amazing.
It was
mean,
perfect.
That's how you do a good story.
God of stories.
Yeah. And I can't wait to see how they incorporate that going forward. I definitely think he's going to be a major plot point in Doomsday. Like I said, we might finally see Loki and Thor. So I'm really hoping something.
I did see some theories that it's like Doctor Doom's racing to get to Loki.
Yeah, it's
and
like MacGuffin.
And everyone's trying to like stop him, and it's like that would be fun. And then you already said that Russo Bros directed the post-credit scene of Fantastic Four.
Yes,
that's exciting. That's gonna probably just tie directly right into Doomsday.
Yeah, most likely.
Fun. And then something else that's just it's fun but random. Aaron Moraid, which is the FBI agent, the Secret Service agent.
Damage Control.
Damage Control.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
He will be in Wonder Man.
I saw that. That would be interesting because he's an awesome character. Because he was hilarious in Spider-Man.
Yeah,
it made me hate him. Which, like we talked about, if an actor can do that, you did a good job.
Yeah.
And he was in Miss Marvel, and he kind of redeemed himself in Miss Marvel a little bit. I'm like, maybe you're not such a bad guy.
Yeah, he's a chill guy. He's like the new Jimmy Woo, but no one will replace Jimmy Woo.
Dude, I want more Jimmy Woo.
Yeah, where's he at? Where's he been?
We haven't seen him since Quantumania.
Is he okay? Is he all right?
Where is he?
Zach, that is all I have for the MCU, the Marvel updates. We are excited for the future of the MCU. Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
Yeah, just, the future's exciting. Me and you will always be excited for Marvel projects. That's Marvel, DC, Star Wars, all that obviously, but Marvel, that's definitely been a big part of our friendship. And I'm looking forward to it. Whatever comes next, I'm going to see it. I'm excited to break down all the theories and stuff because that is always going to be like one of my favorite nerd things. So I'm excited. And, I think once we see Fantastic Four, we'll have even more exciting news and stuff to talk about. So I'm really excited to see what comes from there.
Yeah. Cool, bro. Cool. Here's my ball. Random question. Do you think that Across the Spider-Verse is going to have an ending, or do you think it's going to tie in to anything?
I feel like
lead into anything.
At this point, it's just going to be its own little conclusion. I remember we talked about when Across the Spider-Verse came out, I feel like it was going to
supposed to tie into
Secret Wars somehow, but now I'm like, with all the stuff, I'm like, it's cool to have ideas, I guess.
Yeah, it's fun to have theories. Theories come true.
Yeah, I think it'll be good though. Like they're taking their time. I think however they do it, it's gonna be amazing. If it's anything like Across the Spider-Verse was, so
dude, such a cool movie.
Time will tell, man.
Cool. Y'all, Marvel is fun. But Jesus is funner. Y'all, we love Jesus. We love the Bible. We love the Word of God. I'm going to share the Word of God with you. So I'm going to read out of Isaiah 26:4, which says, "Trust in the Lord always, for the Lord God is the eternal rock." God is the solid rock on which if you stand on sand, you're going to sink, bro. So trust in God.